Hello and welcome to my crafty channel. I'm Paula and today we're going to look at this fun new kit from close to my heart called It's the Little Things. It comes with a whole set of instructions for creating scrapbooking layouts and these beautiful little thin die cuts, sticker sheets, exclusive stamp set and all these 6x6 papers. So I'm going to be scrapbooking a day out with the family picking strawberries, and I thought I'd pull out some of these bright colours with the reds in them and the greens in them just to bring in the colours of the fields of the strawberries. So today what I want to do is start to layer up some of the different elements just to give us a little look at how we can use all the different parts of the kit to cool effect. So first off, I do cut the pages just as they are in the instructions for the double page. However, I do bring in a little taste of my own with some of the papers that I did choose to include. This is going to work really well for the 5 or 6 photos that I have chosen to document, as I can scrapbook them across the center of the page along both sides, as you can see. Now, to create a bit of colour of those strawberries in particular, I'm going to bring in some of our shimmer spray. I use a box here because it can be quite a messy job, and I'm just spritzing all over. I did mark where those bits of paper were, but in the end I did spritz all over just to get a good idea of how it's going to look. Now, I did make a little bit of a splotch down the bottom corner, so that gave me an opportunity to add a bit of texture to the sides and the bottom by tearing back and creating a little peephole to some pattern paper in the background. And the black and white floral piece that I'm now about to cut up was a perfect one for the job. It just added in a little bit of that interest without adding in new colour. So I just adhere those behind, only using a tiny little bit to add a bit of a layer and texture to the page. Next, I'm going to bring back those papers so that I can see exactly how everything sits. And I do bring in a little bit more tearing because I do like a bit of texture on the page, and particularly with this sort of style of scrapbooking. Now that I can see how it looks laid out, I can start to see that I'm going to just need a little bit more pattern to the side on the right hand side, given that I've got a wider spread of photos, and that soft black and white grid worked really well for this. Now, the next thing I do is I adhere all those bits of paper together so I can easily lift it up and down as I start to layer up some of my background elements. The first stamp that I've pulled in now is the Operation Smile charity stamp set that we have on our collection. We have it out for the whole year. It's beautiful. It's got these lovely open flowers, quite whimsical effect. So I thought they were going to create a really nice backdrop. As it's the first time I've used this stamp, I'm just seasoning it up and stamping off on a few bits of scrap. Always a good idea when you've got a new stamp set to do this so you can get a good image. However, as I went to stamp my first one, I didn't quite get the top of one of the flowers in, so I did have to double stamp. As you can see, I'm going to do a little bit of the stamping on both pages to keep it consistent. I really love the black and open effect of these flowers against the colourful paper that I've chosen to use. I use a little bit more of the flowers from the same set just to add a slightly bigger cluster to that bottom left hand side, and a few other little spots of stamping around as well, just to pull it through out the 2 pages. Now, I'm loving how this stamp set sort of has that feel of outdoors, as this is obviously a strawberry field that we go to just before Christmas each year. It gives us an opportunity to get some lovely fresh berries for Christmas Day, and it's just a fun family activity. This time my mother came with us and my sister, so it was just a really nice little gathering as we went. Now I have gone to the It's the Little Thing exclusive stamp set, and it's got this fun little banner. It says "This Was," which I'm first of all going to stamp, and I'm actually going to use Lagoon ink in this, bringing in a bit of colour now. So "This Was," and then I pulled out a cute little sticker that was on the sticker sheet saying "Happy, Happy, Happy." So that's on there too. I think it said happy. I have to look at that again afterwards. So then I thought I'd pull in a few other colours onto my stamping. So I've used Lagoon already. So the next one I chose to use was the green apple, just to bring in a bit of that colour. And then up the top on this right-hand side as well, I used a little bit of our orangey shade, which in this case is Sundance. So that just added a slight touch of colour. Now, in the little die cut sheet that comes, there's a great little saying, enjoy the little moments, which exactly this is. So I pulled that one out and arranged that to the side as well. The black stands out beautifully again against those bright colours. There's also a few little fine cut sprigs of leaves, which I'm adding in on both sides as well. Now, to make this a little bit more cohesive, I thought I'd pull out the sticker sheet, and in the sticker sheet there is a gorgeous colourful banner. So what I'm going to do now is use that little colourful banner to bridge the two pages together. It just felt like it needed that bit of a flow across to that strip of 4 photos on the right hand side. I didn't quite squeeze them all in the first time round, so I did have to do a little bit of manipulation here just to make sure that I could get all of them in. And I love a little wee banner. It does help to just add a bit of a embellishment cluster, I guess, in a way, but also it underlines all that colourful patterns coming on in our paper that I'm using. So it's starting to come together now. I still feel that we need a little bit more to come in. So what I actually go off now and is get an old stamp set that had this really fun thin cut in it that's like a film strip. Adding that in just adds a little bit of richness to the right hand side to balance what was on the left hand side. I tried to add a bit more of it somewhere, but I couldn't quite make that one work. So I stuck to just the one film strip going down near the center of the spread. I also decided to pull in a little bit of just a few textured elements. I made a happy accident by not having my papers set exactly where they're meant to be, so I got the offset dashed line going on, which I actually really liked, so I made sure that it happened with all of them, which looks a little bit neat for another layer. And then I went and stamped onto a separate piece of White Daisy some of the cute flower that's in that exclusive stamp as well. And just went off and fussy cut those so that I had a few other elements that I could use to decorate my page with. So these looked really fun over the clusters and helped to draw in a little bit more depth to the pages. I'm really loving how the stamp set's got so many little bits to it. There's so much more I could have stamped on, but I felt like I'd got quite a bit happening for me. So I decided I'd just finish there and do a bit of distressing around the edges of the paper packs. Always by distressing, you can really differentiate the colours and it sort of outlines and makes them pop out at you, which I really like that effect here. I did end up going around the white and black, the thinner ones as well, just to make it stand out, and I'm really pleased I did that when I put it together. So as it's all stuck down now, the last thing I had to do was add in a few little extra embellishments and stickers, which I have done with those cute butterflies, and then I pulled out the teal dots just to do a little final bit of dash of colour to the little clusters, and I always like to make it quite consistent, so I went around all the different parts here. I hope you enjoyed following this little process video with me. Enjoy these close-ups so you can see a little bit more of what I have achieved by putting the bits together, and it's amazing what you can do with 6x6 pieces of patterned paper. Loving this set. You're going to see a whole heap more of layouts with this, I'm sure, coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous crafty day.